Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 science fiction thriller Volition, a film that is co-written and directed by Tony Dean Smith, and it stars Adrian Glyn McMorran, Magda Apanovitz, John Cassini, Frank Cassini, and Bill Merchant, or Marchant. Now, this is a science fiction film that focuses on a character called James, who essentially has clairvoyance. He can see the future, and he uses that, if you like, to his advantage. He's a bit of like a low-level criminal, I suppose, but he is hired, if you like, by a local criminal to deliver some diamonds, and he wants him to do it because he knows he can see the future. He knows about his clairvoyance, and he knows if he can see if there's going to be any hiccups in regards to these diamonds, and these diamonds need to be delivered, otherwise there are going to be problems. However, a whole chain of events unfolds when he has a vision, James, of his own death. And the film then unfolds with him trying desperately to figure out at what point he's going to die, and how he's going to potentially change these events. Along the way he meets a character called Angela, who he seems to recognise from his past somewhere, and there is a connection there between these two characters that it becomes clear as the film unfolds. Now, this is actually a very, very difficult film to review because of spoilers, basically. There's a whole chunk of this film, about half an hour into this film, maybe a little bit more, the film transitions into full-on science fiction, if you like. And I'm reluctant to talk about it because it will spoil the film, so I'm not going to talk about it. Needless to say, it really helped the film, I think, because at that point it was just this character, James, who wasn't particularly likeable, and how he gets together with this Angela character didn't make sense, and there seems to be this connection there between them, and it just felt false almost. And then when this film reveals itself as to what it actually is, it all starts making sense, this film. And it's like a jigsaw puzzle that puts itself together as you watch it, this film. And it answers all these questions that you have. It's a very, very clever film, I have to say. And there's like this consistent loop throughout this film that keeps you keep reliving, and it answers questions each time. Each time you this loop you see this loop. The questions get answered that you have, and it doesn't seem to miss a trick. What you saw early in the film, you paid it no attention. It answers that question later in the film, and its attention to detail, I think, is wonderful, this film, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was a really interesting film. And it was, it kind of kept my mind working throughout. Sometimes you like to watch a film and you just like to turn your brain off and have fun and just not really think about anything. Sometimes you want to put something on and just have a laugh and a joke and laugh at the funny gags in the film. And sometimes you want a film that's going to stimulate you intellectually, if you like, to some degree, and make you think and keep your brain working. And this is definitely a film where your brain needs to be turned on when you're watching it, otherwise you'll miss bits. And if you are going to watch this film, I would recommend from the beginning take notice of the little things, because later on in the film they'll make so much more sense. So I really like it. I think how this film has been constructed and put together, I think, is great respect, I think, to the filmmakers here. I think they've done a really, really good job. The writers, the director as well, I think, did a really good job here in regards to how he shows off this film. I think it comes off almost as like a drama at times. I think there are some pacing issues with the film. There were a couple of times when I almost switched off, because I just didn't see how it was going to grab my attention early on for the length of the film. And like I say, when about half an hour, whenever it was, and the film actually revealed what it is, from that point on I was pretty much switched on to the film. But there are some pacing issues throughout this film, and I'm not sure it will hold everyone's attention. It's not trying to be, a really fast-paced film or anything. I'm just saying it's a bit of a slow burn at times, and there are some people that might watch this that might just find it actually quite frustrating. It's a bit like, I'm not comparing it to some degree to this, but like you remember the TV show Lost? Some people loved that TV show, some people hated it. I was a big fan of it. I loved the fact that show kept giving you questions. It gave you more questions than answers. And this film is similar in that sense, is it gives you lots of questions, but by the end of the film it gives you an awful lot of the answers as well. Not all of them, it does leave a little bit to your imagination. So personally, I think this was a real surprise for me. I didn't expect to enjoy this film as much as I did. I do think it is worth checking out if you like a good science fiction thriller. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I do think it is worth the time and worth the effort to watch this film. But like I say, the pacing issue might be a problem for some people. It's not like a fast-paced action film or anything. Don't be thinking that going into this film. It's quite a thought-provoking science fiction film, but you need to stick with it, because the first 30 minutes kind of feels a bit by the numbers almost, and then when it reveals what it is, you're fully on board. So that is my review for Volition. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to click the like button. That is really helpful to the channel, and of course if you're new, please consider subscribing as well. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.